In this lecture, we will learn how to reduce background noise from audio. Removing background noise is a very popular topic among beginners. Some beginners also think if they can reduce the background noise, all the audio issues will be fixed. Well, audio editing is not such a simple thing. Many interconnected things happen during audio editing. I'll discuss those in due time. For now, I'll remove background noise from this recording. But before that, let's set our expectations right. This is the manual page for noise reduction in Audacity. You should try to understand what is said in the top section. Mainly 3 points can be noted from here. The first point is that noise reduction only works with constant background noise like hiss or hum. The second point is it is not good for removing irregular background noise like traffic noise. The third point is that the noise reduction will not bring satisfactory results when the noise is loud. All these mean the scope of noise reduction in Audacity is quite limited. We will learn how to utilize this limited scope. Eventually, I will share tips and tricks to get a recording where noise is minimal. The beginning of this track looks flat, but if I play the audio, you will see something in the meter. It is a small amount of noise and you may hear nothing unless you are in a quiet place. It hit around -42 in the meter. There is a tiny dot in the line and that is a mouth noise. I will explain later what mouth noise is. Mouth noise is not part of the regular background noise or hissing noise. The noise level will be less if I select the part before that dot. It is hitting around -45 in the meter. We can say the hissing noise is around -45 dB. This noise level is in the raw recording. I have not processed the audio yet. If I add other effects, this noise may increase. For example, if I apply an effect to raise the overall loudness of the audio, the noise will also increase. If you watched my previous lectures, you know Normalize can set the loudness of the audio to a proper level. So I will add Normalize effect on the audio. I will set the peak amplitude to -3. The audio has become louder, so the noise. You can see the noise is now visible on the waveform. If I play the audio, the noise is better audible than before. The source of this noise is the AC unit in my room and a fan that is running below my floor. It is a kind of hissing noise, also called the white background noise. I could have turned off the AC to prevent that noise, but the fan running downwards is not my control. It is in other people's apartment and the vibration through the floor is causing this noise. The best thing I can do is to reduce some noise using the noise reduction effect. Audacity has some built-in effects that can enhance your audio or fix some problems in your audio. Noise reduction is an effect that fixes noise issues. However, its capacity is limited and can only remove white background noise. If you have irregular background noise like traffic noise or dog barking, the noise reduction effect cannot remove that kind of noise. Let's see how the noise reduction effect works. Noise reduction is a two-step process. In step 1, you have to select a noise profile. In other words, you have to select a part from the waveform which has only the noise. This part can be anywhere from the audio. It can be from the beginning, from the middle, or from the end. The main point is the selected part should have only the noise you want to remove from the overall audio. I'll select a part from the beginning. Currently, I have 1 second of the waveform selected. Audacity does not require that much noise sample. Audacity requires only 0.05 seconds of sample. I'll zoom in and show you how much the sample is that. Currently, it is a half second sample. If I zoom in further, I can select 0.05 seconds of sample. I have zoomed in quite a lot and this is a 0.05 seconds of the sample. If I zoom out, you can see how small that sample is. It is almost invisible though I had the sample selected. Though Audacity requires a minimum sample of that length, I would recommend at least half a second sample. Because a half second or 1 second sample gives Audacity a better chance to recognize the noise. As long as your selected sample has the noise you want to remove, it is okay. I'll select half a second from the beginning and go to Effect. Audacity effects are grouped by the kind of tasks they do. You will find noise reduction inside noise removal and repair. As I said before, noise reduction is a two-step process. You can see 2 separate steps here. In step 1, you have to provide Audacity with the noise profile. Click on Get Noise Profile and Audacity will use this noise sample to identify the noise. Step 1 is done and now you have to go to the step 2. For step 2, you have to select the audio from where you want to remove that noise. Usually white noise is present all over the audio, so I'll select the whole track and go to noise reduction effect again. In step 2, you have to configure the noise reduction settings. The actual configuration you can set for these sliders is quite limited. These are the default configurations and you will get suggestions to use these default settings. However, the default settings have a drawback. It degrades the audio quality. In the default settings, the noise reduction value is 12 dB. The ideal value for noise reduction is 6 dB. It is the amount of noise to be decreased if the noise is found. A bigger value in noise reduction means more noise reduction, but that makes the sound harsh. So you should try with a 6 dB noise reduction. If that does not work, you may try a 9 dB reduction. But remember, that can introduce a bit of harshness in the audio. If more than a 9 dB reduction is needed on your audio, you have to rethink your recording strategy. How much noise is acceptable depends on where you are using the audio. I will go into that discussion in a later lecture. The next slider is sensitivity. The higher the sensitivity, the more aggressive the noise reduction will be. The lower the sensitivity, the less aggressive it will be in noise reduction. You would want the aggressive level to be just enough for noise reduction. The default sensitivity of 6 works perfectly fine. You have to change the frequency smoothing slider. After removing the noise, a gap is introduced in the audio data. Frequency smoothing tries to reduce that gap so that the audio sounds smoother. For voice recording, a value of 6 in the frequency smoothing works fine. So the ideal configuration is a value of 6 in all 3 sliders. If you are doing high quality voiceover, you cannot go beyond these settings for noise reduction. If you are doing podcast or editing YouTube videos, you have some more flexibility. Let's apply this setting and see what it does. I will play the noise only part, which was around -39 before. After noise reduction, it has become around -45. So a 6 dB noise reduction happens. The main purpose of noise reduction is not the noise in the silent part. You have to make sure no noticeable noise is in the spoken parts. Let's listen to the sound before the noise reduction and after noise reduction. Audacity is a pretty good software for voiceover recording and editing. If you can get good recording, Audacity is a pretty good software for voiceover recording and editing. If you can get good recording, noise-free recording, then Audacity may be the. It seems no obvious noise in the spoken parts after noise reduction. So for spoken parts, the noise reduction was okay. However, the noise we are currently seeing in the silent part, even after noise reduction, is not okay for some platforms. Let's check what a 12 dB noise reduction would do instead of 6. If I apply a noise reduction of 12 dB, the visible noise will be less. Usually noise in the silent parts is visible in the waveform. In the spoken parts, we cannot visually distinguish the noise by looking at the waveform. I have applied a 12 dB noise reduction. You will notice the spoken words will be a bit harsh or hollow sounding. If you use a headphone, you will notice the difference. Audacity is a pretty good software for voiceover recording and editing. If you can get good recording, noise-free recording, then Audacity may be the only software. If you are listening to it with a speaker, the harshness issue may not be that obvious, but it is there. I can even try to apply a greater value in noise reduction. For example, I will set a noise reduction of 24. Please note that I am applying this noise reduction on the normalized audio. I am not applying this noise reduction multiple times. Basically, I am showing you a comparison of what it would be with 6, 12 or 24 dB noise reduction. If I check the silent parts, I will see no noise in the meter. Because the meter starts from -60 dB and my noise falls below that. There is a tool in Audacity called Spectrum Analyzer. You can access it from the Analyze menu. It will show the volume level by frequency. You can see there is some energy in some frequencies. However, the energy fell below -60 dB, so we could not see anything in the meter. If we listen to the audio, it will sound more hollow than before, or will give a feeling like it is stopping suddenly. Audacity is a pretty good software for voiceover recording and editing. If you can get good recording, noise-free recording, then Audacity may be the only software you need to produce excellent final audio. In theory, noise reduction can reduce the noise, but practically it has some limitations. It cannot reduce noise without degrading the audio quality. If you are trying to get a very high quality audio, you cannot reduce noise by more than 6 dB. Other times, like for podcasting or YouTube videos, you should reduce the noise to a level where it is not obvious. I'll discuss later how to set up your environment for high quality recording. For now, experiment with different noise reduction settings and listen through a headphone. The more hissing noise you have, the harsher it will become after noise reduction. It is important to understand this concept. It is the foundation for getting high quality audio. If hissing noise is an issue for you, then you have to consider other software. I will discuss on a later lecture about Audacity alternatives. For now, let's continue Audacity learning.